Hi guys, it's West Coast Arachnids. Just doing a quick update. Dozer had molted. This is the only tea that I officially named. This is a cancerides, number 1. I named him Dozer because he dug up that whole end there, this whole end, and almost completely filled up this whole thing, dug it out, had himself a little hole, and then it overflowed almost like a waterfall with webbing on it. But since then he molted in there, and then I took him out because the whole thing was caving in on him and cleaned it up a bit, and since then he hasn't dug, so I'm not gonna keep his hide in there. He doesn't use it. You can see he's made his little web there to molt on. I give this side a little mist just now and filled up his water dish. This guy here, I don't know if you can see him back in there. Yeah, he's kind of resting right in the middle. Kind of blends in a little bit. I don't know how well you can see him. It's kind of hard to see on a camera. But he was sitting right in there in the water dish, having a big old drink. I just filled that up last night, and he completely emptied it. So, and that one's in deep pre-molt as well. You can see the purple coming through the hairs. It's really dark. This one's already molted. These are all due for rehouse after these final ones molt. This one here, this is a cancerides that I got afterwards. It's only about an inch and a quarter maybe. It's molted once since I got it. It's in pre-molt now, heavy pre-molt as well. I had to take its hide out because it was scrunched in the side, but between the hide and the plastic. So I took that out, which is now in the garbage bin, the red thing. It's not a garbage bin, but I'll clean all those up and reuse them for the smaller teas. But I took it out so we'd have room to molt, so you can lay down a web and molt in there. Basically all of these have molted. That one's taking a drink now. And right in the back there you can see him in his little web, his little hammock he's built. That's Thanx marinus, or Ternocillis is what some people call it. If you get a Latin pronunciation, it's Thanx marinus, and it's that's your OBT. I did do a video on this one. I was going to rehouse it, but he built that little hammock, so I'm going to leave him in there for a bit. And then once all these guys have molted, the Pierre Minia has just finished molting. That should be the last video that you've seen. And they're going to get rehoused along with the OBTs. There's one OBT in here that I haven't seen in 2 months. I haven't touched it. I'm just kind of leaving it alone, and it is completely. I can still fill up his water dish though. He left that open right to the top, but everywhere else there's his hide. I mean, you can't even hardly see that from the top. It's just gone. You can see kind of a little bit of it, and you can see the circle there where he's left the water open, or the water dish open. But that's kind of cool. This one here, same thing. He's deeply buried, but he threw a molt out, I believe, that one, and I did get it out. So I know they've molted, so they gotta come out of there. The other OBT's in here doing well, as you've seen in the last video. I think I did an update on him. He's in the bottom corner there. So anyway, the left corner here, just below the big plant, right at the V of the plant, that's where his opening is, and it goes right around the side. He used to be up in the top corner, but he kind of moved down, so that's good. And they'll do that, they'll move down or onto a tree, base of a tree, anywhere, and they'll take moss or substrate or earth or whatever they can find that's naturally around them, and they'll make their web, and then they'll stick that stuff all throughout the web. So it camouflages it and you can't even really tell it's there. It just looks like part of the earth or the tree. But yeah, lots of molts, lots and lots. They're really sucking back the water lately, so I'm just thinking due to the summer probably coming into full force here. It's really warm. It's been cloudy but really hot. So even on the cloudy days, just make sure that your teas are hydrated, that they do have water and they have access to it, that it's not buried or in a place where they generally won't go to. If they're a skittish tea and they hide a lot, you know, make sure it's close to them, which is basically why I keep these teas in these smaller enclosures until they actually really outgrow them, is because, you know, they're right close. OBTs tend to be a reclusive spider. They'll hide, and they just, you know, they'll get a lot of their moisture from their food, but if they're not eating, they really need that water in there, and they need it close by. They will wander at night, but this isn't the wild. You know, you've got them in captivity in little enclosures. They're in their hides. They know there's nowhere to go, so they may not even come out. I suppose they will if they get thirsty enough. But who knows? I've never seen them come out to drink, and I'm constantly watching the water, and it never gets drained as much as the others. Like these are all Parahybana. They're water dishes. Within 2-3 days, they're empty. This OBT, I've filled it once since I've transferred that, and that water's been in there for a few days, and it's clean. A lot cleaner than these ones, and these guys come out and they empty these all the time. That one does have one. It's in the back there. Likes to roam around back there, so I put it up top. But I think I'm going to remove all the hides. This one here, because of the way this one molted, this is why I'm doing this. This one here has a deformed back pair of legs. I don't think you can really see it there, but this is a Lazidor Parahybana, the salmon pink bird eater. It's about 2.5 inches. The last molt it had, sorry about the splotching on there. That's just water splotches from me spraying it down. Seems like it doesn't matter how much I clean them, the next day once I've sprayed them, they get those splotches. So anyhow, the last time that guy molted, he had a bad molt, and he molted inside of his enclosure, which was this. It's not that small. I mean, it's bigger than the tea, but with it being rounded like that, its legs ended up in this kind of position, you know, and then it tries to walk, and it kind of crab walks from the back end. So I'm hoping the next molt, that'll straighten it out, and he'll harden up correctly. I think he just, when he molted, he went in there, and then his legs kind of naturally bent in because of the roundness of the enclosure, and he dug out all the soil out that I'd put in there. I'd filled it half up so it was flat, and what I should have done is cut it in half and put it in there lengthwise, but no, I didn't do that, and he dug out all the substrate, and when he molted, he sat in the bottom of a rounded cup, you know, like this, and his legs kind of turned in and hardened that way. So you learn and learn and learn again. I don't think there's, you know, a week that goes by that I don't learn something new, and I've been doing this for over 30 years, dealing with spiders and tarantulas all my life. Well, most of my life. And reptiles even longer, and fish even longer than that. I had fish tanks from all the time, from when I was about 7 years old, so deal with those for like 40 years. But yeah. Anyway, there's Dozer. Awesome molt. Didn't really have any concerns of him going in that high because he never goes in there. Ever. He's literally buried it up. And I seen him build that web, so I thought, okay, he's gonna molt there. And that was yesterday. I did a video on the Pyramidea yesterday, molting. It was 2 molts in there. That should be my last video. But yeah, he's looking absolutely gorgeous. He's got this steely blue color this camera just will not pick up. Nice and shiny looking. Really nice abdomen, like his abdomen is perfectly plump. So he had a lot of moisture. He got a lot of moisture before he molted, and he ate well lots before he molted. So he did, you know, he had a really good molt. And didn't lose any legs. I still haven't seen his pedipalp, but everything else looks good. And every time I go to try and get him to come out so I can see his pedipalp, he just sticks his butt up. And I'm assuming he's just sensitive now, so I'm not going to bother him. Just going to let him go. I just wanted to put some water in there and give you guys an update while I had him open. Anyhow, there's that. I expect to see this guy on a molt real soon. And that guy back there that was drinking the water, this one, that one's already molted, of course. I think the Brachypelma vagans have all molted. These guys out here have all molted. The Pyramidea, 2 of them have molted at least. There's one I don't know. We'll find out. It hasn't come out. I haven't seen it, but it's closed itself in. I'm gonna dig these guys out soon. The other 2 OBTs. And these guys here, they're all molting sporadically. I've been pulling small molts out of them. And the Nandrochromatis are getting bigger. The T Costa Ricans, they're getting bigger. Theraphosinai Costa Ricans. They're actually a lot bigger than they used to be. I don't know if you can see him there. He's mowing down on something. Mealworm that I put in there last night actually. I seen it digging and I thought he'll dig it out. They never eat on camera, those ones. Very rarely. It's hard to get them to eat on camera unless they're really hungry. Lasidor parahibanas, tiny little guys. You can see him there. I don't know if you can or not. You can see his legs just sticking up there. His little butt. But they're very, very, very tiny. Like you could put them on your pinky nail and spread out and they wouldn't cover even half of it. They're like 1/8 of an inch, I think. Really small. Anyhow, this guy here, I've been watching him, taking a look at him once in a while. He's doubled in size probably. That's, I think, was 3 1/4 inches, 3 1/2 inches, something like that. 3 1/4. And 8 centimeters. And now, I don't know what he's got to be easy 4 inches. He, she. I think it's suspect male. But anyway, that's it. Update on this guy and all the other ones that are gonna molt and have molted. Seems to be molting season. See lots of you guys' videos out there that your teas are molting, so that's awesome. I haven't seen many people that have had deaths lately, knock on wood. Don't like to see that, but occasionally it happens. And hopefully everybody goes without any deaths. Just remember, hydrate your teas. It's important. It's important for their molting. It's important for their health all over, just their well-being, just their general movement. Their bodies act like hydraulic machines. They need the fluid to move. Without that fluid in their body, they just become lethargic, and by the time you notice it, it's almost always too late. With teas, they don't give a lot of symptoms because they don't really move around, right? You sit there and watch them, they're like pet rocks most of the time. So just keep them hydrated and feed them when they'll eat, and don't overfeed them. They can get too fat, and if they do get too fat and they do fall from any little height, it could burst open their abdomen. Not a good thing. Or any quick jolt in movement, like if they run around a cage, if they're startled, they may get their abdomen torn on anything that's in there. You know, if they're too fat. It's like overfilling a balloon. You know it's overfilled. But they will plump up when they're going to molt, so don't stress if they do look plump. Just don't feed them until they look like they're going to explode. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's that. Say goodnight to Dozer. And please comment, like, and subscribe. You all have a great night, great day, whatever it is. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.